I'm trying not to beat myself up about this because I knew it was an experiment. Number two, I also knew I was making more than one change with my lineup. A lot of it changed. I will do a video with my stack update, but that's not what this one is going to be. Back in April, Erin Condren announced that their Vertical LifePlanner was getting an upgrade and they were going to add lines. I have been using this planner now for at least 30 days and I have some thoughts. But first, if you're new, hey, my name is Lauren, and on my channel, I like to talk about how I use planners and journals to keep my mind calm. Okay, so to start, I want to say this is not going to be a flip through review of this planner. I do have a different video that shows you what this planner is. This is not that video. This is my thoughts and opinions about how I've been using this planner in the last month and what I want to do moving forward. I do want to note that I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the Erin Condren Vertical Planner, and I knew that me choosing this as my main planner was going to be a risk because every other time that I've tried to use an Erin Condren Vertical Planner, except for the very, very first one that I had, which was a softbound planner, which is a little bit bigger than this. This is a 7x9. That one was an 8x10. Other than that one, I have not been able to stick with it for a long time. I thought maybe with this having lines, and because the planner I was in before this, it was an Erin Condren academic planner, and it was their newer version, which they added lines and they kind of changed it. The academic planner used to be a different layout, and they made it almost look like this, except it doesn't have a sidebar, and the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, are stacked in there. I have a video of that planner also if you're interested. Because I was using that one for a while, I thought, okay, well, I've been using a lined vertical type planner, which was the academic one, for several months, and it's been fine. It probably will be okay if I switch into here, because one of the gripes I have about the academic planner is that it doesn't really have a sidebar. And I have a video where I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like I'm just promoting other videos, but I want to mention this because I'm bringing it up. Because I had an issue with not having a sidebar, I did come up with a solution and I made a video about it. If you find yourself in a similar situation, that video might be helpful for you. All those things considered, I thought, okay, I'll give it a try, but this may be where I messed up, and I kind of knew that this might be the hang up when I decided this is what I wanted to do. So I didn't want to use I wanted to use this as my main planner, but I also wanted to use it for journaling every day. And if you've seen any of my stack videos, you will know that I have a simple lined notebook that I journal in, and I've been doing that practically my whole life, like 30 years at this point, of just word vomit. I call it long form journaling. I guess some people might call it stream of consciousness, but it's not really that. I definitely kind of censor. I don't just stream of conscious. But in recent years, I've also tried to also have like a dated planner to use as like a daily journal. So I can have some place to just kind of daily journal a little bit. And that's been an experiment for a few years. And in the few years that I've been experimenting that way, I came to the conclusion that I don't think I like it that much, especially after after this past month of using this as a planner and a daily journal. And I'm not really going to be able to show you the pages in here filled out because personal. I have boundaries. So I will say this. I did find it difficult to have my plans in here and have space for journaling and wanting it to look nice. I think that's where my problem is that for some reason, because I was doing journaling and planning at the same time, I was in my head thinking it needed to look nice. So that was error one that I didn't like, is that for some reason in my head, and I knew that was going to probably be a challenge and something I've never tried before. So you try something new and you learn, right? I've never tried to do my planning and journaling in the same spot. So I've learned I don't like that, because the act of me actually needing to put my plans in here and knowing that I want to make sure I have space for journaling, I feel like there's a conflict, and my brain wants it to have to look nice. And then the other thing I found with this, and this was another new experiment, was I had never tried journaling in this long, like a format like this. And now these columns are 1.5 inches wide, which are pretty narrow. I did attempt, in knowing that I was going to do this. So in the month of June, in my academic planner that I was in before this, I did use the month of June to journal, and I liked it. I think I did because the column widths were just a little bit wider in there, and I didn't feel restricted. In here, I feel like I write 1 or 2 words, and I already have no room, and I need to move to the next line. So that was that. And then I think because the academic planner doesn't have shading like in between, it is broken down into like 7 or 8 blocks of time. And I feel like the line spacing might be a little bit smaller in there. But the lines breaking down those is just a little bit of a darker line. There is no shading breaking up in between. And as a result of the shading in between, I feel like it throws off the flow of me using this like a journal. So I don't know honestly what I'm going to do. I did last week use it like an actual plan, like a planner, and kind of like write in stuff as a planner. But I don't know so much how I like this format. And going back to what I said about how me wanting to look nice, I found myself during the past month that I was journaling in here and planning in here, that I would use my Daily Duo planner, the week spread that's in my Daily Duo, as like my weekly planner. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so here's my Daily Duo. It is, if you don't know what a Daily Duo is, it is a planner from Erin Condren. It's a daily planner. This is the page though that is like a weekly overview. This is one that was filled out from last week, same as this week, right? And this is what it looks like when it's blank. This layout was added into the Daily Duo this year with this launch. They took out a different layout. There was a weekly type layout in here before, but they took it out and they changed this. And this I'm familiar with because I spent 8 months in this layout as my main planner for my weekly, but in the 7x9 size. Now this Daily Duo is an A5 size. As you can see, it's smaller. So my brain's familiar with it. And so because I was struggling with like wanting to keep this looking nice, I stickered it up. I used sticker kits, which that's another thing I don't really usually do, but I did it for July because personally I didn't like the shade of green that the July month was in this toile design that they had. So I used a lot of sticker kits and covered it up. So it was a task, to say the least, to do that. So I don't know if that also played into it, where it's like, because I had to do this extra work of making it look nice by covering up all the color I didn't like, maybe that's also contributed a little bit to me not liking the journaling in it. Because to be fair, to be fair, I have not attempted to just put my plans in journal. As you can see, like I didn't even come back in here and do any journaling this week. So I wasn't planning to use this weekly spread like this in this planner because I like to have this size planner as my main planner, mostly because of the month pages. Let me see if I can show you a month that isn't. Okay, so here's a month I can show you. It doesn't have anything personal on here. I like the size. This is my favorite size calendar of like the brands I've used. I like the Sunday through Saturday, and the size of these boxes is just enough without being too tiny for the things I need to put on here so that I don't feel like overwhelmed or like the whole calendar looks crowded, which is why I like getting a 7x9 size planner for this specific thing. Now, I don't think I have anything written down on here. Could I try and write everything down in here and just use my daily planner as like my main planner and my daily planner, which let me show you what a daily page looks like in case you're new and you don't know. So this is what the daily pages look like in here. But I don't know if I want to do that. My plan was, I just got makeup mark on my finger and on my pages. My plan with this one was to use this for keeping track of like my content, like what I'm doing for content, so that I can have like one place to look at that shows me what I've done, because I like doing that. I like having a spot for that isn't mixed in with other plans and things like that. So that's what I wanted to use this for, but I've been using it as like my planner also, and I'm torn. I'm a little bit torn. I don't know that I'm going to jump out of this like and just throw the whole thing out. I might just, I don't know. I didn't even fill this week out in here. I filled it out in the other one in my daily planner. And today is Thursday. I'm filming this. So the week's like almost done. And as you can see, I'm not doing the daily journaling. Not doing daily journaling. I don't know. I think I'm going to probably put a pause on daily journaling for a while. I think that's just where I'm at. And I might play around with this and kind of see if I want to try and make this work as like my daily planner. Now that I'm like, okay, I don't want to do the journaling in here. Can I make this work as like a journal, as like my planner? I probably can do that. It's going to take me some time. I probably will experiment, I guess, with that for the rest of August and in September. And then I guess I could report back if I feel like it, if I feel like I need to update. But I did want to come in and at least update and let you know, because I didn't even do a planner stack video for July. Usually I'd set up like a planner stack, and I didn't. And because I didn't do that, I wanted to at least make this video so that if anybody was waiting for that, they would be like, oh, okay, maybe that's why Lauren hasn't done a stack video, because Lauren was very busy in the summer. I did more traveling than I usually do in a summer. So that was that. And in between the traveling and just kind of like being gone for a week or so and then returning home and then having to go back out again like a month later, just the in routine, out routine, all that stuff, and the kids being home in the summer, all that stuff, I just kind of was like, I'll just wait. And this is the video that I wanted to post first, since I didn't do a stack update. So you let me know. I'm curious about how your planning situation is going. I'm trying not to beat myself up about this because I knew it was an experiment. Number two, I also knew I was making more than one change with my lineup. A lot of it changed. I will do a video with my stack update, but that's not what this one is going to be. So I knew, because of all the multiple changes, that something was probably going to give or not go as the way I thought it would go. And I went into that with that headspace, knowing that. And I'm 100% okay with this. Like, I'm not at all like upset or anything like that about it. It's fine. It is what it is. I tried something new, and there's nothing wrong with trying something new. I've never tried to do like a journaling type memory keeping thing in combination with my plans before. The reason I had wanted to do it that way was because I was finding that if I had a separate planner that was just for journaling, I was reiterating some of the plans that happened in the day. And I thought, well, maybe it would make sense if I just have the journaling in the same space as the plans themselves, so that I didn't have to reiterate what the plans were, because I can literally see what the plans were because they're on the page already. That was my thought process. So I thought, well, maybe that'll save me a little bit of like a repeat, but that hasn't been the case. I think I just don't like journaling in this format. at all, and I learned something. So you're gonna have to let me know if you've had a similar experience. I'm sure I am not the only one. And I do hope that this is a little bit encouraging for some of you who might be beating yourself up about how you went into July thinking this is how your planner situation was going to be, and it has not turned out to be how you hoped it was. So may this video bring you comfort. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you're new and you're not subscribed and you want to see more videos like this, I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.